Alright guys, welcome back. We got war number 4. We're still learning a few things on some fights that are kind of frustrating, but we got some new fights, like this Shocker here, the first fight on Path 1 in Section 1. I knew I was going to screw up early, so I did have that invulnerability boost on right there, because I knew I was going to make a mistake hitting into his auto block, but it's fine. We're going to go ahead, drop the special 2. He's unblockable now, so I have to go for the intercept, and then once that's done, I'm going to let him, once he drops below a bar of power, and I have my 1 bar of power, I throw my unblockable special 1s, cycle those, get him through. Now, I went with Cassie for Ebony Maw here. I probably could have done this potentially with Viv, but with Masochism and Vigorous Assault, I went back to the old faithful in Cassie Lang. I used to do this one back, but it was a different meta, and you were able to get a bunch of debuffs on by hitting into the block. Here, that is not the case. It actually takes me a little bit of time before I'm able to get my power stings to stick without the masochism. I should have just gone with light ending combos there. You can see right there, but I'm also paying attention to the falter, so then the masochism goes away again. So here I do get the taunt on, but at the moment I need to find an opening where I can, because he's just, the healing from the masochism is just taking him right back up to full. I'm also keeping an eye on the falter timer on the top left. Finally, at a certain point, I finally start getting some heavy attacks on there. Unfortunately, I take a little bit of degen damage, and now there goes my invulnerability boost. I was getting a little frustrated at this point because I know I can play better than this. So I finally go in, I shrink down, he hits into my to my heavy, and now we've got some power stings on. We're actually doing some damage. Now I just have to pay attention to, keep pushing him to a bar of power, keep throwing those special ones, get the taunt on, and hopefully, as long as Maw wants to throw some specials, then he's taking damage. We're not losing the power stings. He just keeps refreshing them. We've got him heal blocked, so because of all the debuffs. So perfect, and we finally get that fight done. But I knew I could do it. It was just getting the right rotation going. Next up in phase 2 for path 1, we've got Viv against Weapon X. We've done this a ton of times. Main thing here, as always, like I say, is I did not phase. If I phase against Weapon X, he's going to go unstoppable, and he is going to destroy me. So all I do is I push him to just below 25 charges, let him throw the special, then start the intercepts, get the special 2. Now he can just throw his specials, and I can just push him to a special 1, and then as soon as I'm at 1 bar of power, he's below bar of power, we do our Viv thing. Next up is a Magneto on Buffet. We're going to take this, sorry, it's Dr. Doom on Buffet. We're going to take it with Magneto. That's what we're going to do. I'm just going to back off as always, wait for the masochism to be, wait for the magnetism to be on, and then we're just going to go ahead and parry up to special 3. I'm not going to I don't believe I start charging my heavy attack until I do there. I charge it a little bit, but I have to make sure they don't start falling off, because I want to do it, if they start falling off beforehand, then there's a chance that with Mystic Dispersion that Doom could go up to a special 3, but here we're good. We get 28 bleeds on there, and Doom is gone. Now we're going to go on to path 3. Before we jump into any minis. So I actually rank 5 and ascended by Black Widow, Clairvoyant, because we are going to try a fight that I struggled with in the last war. We're going to see if we can do it with Claire. So here with Claire, I'm just going to parry heavy until I get to 2 bars of power, even with the armor up that Odin has here. I can still get some power. So I'm gonna, unfortunately, I make a mistake there, but when I finally get to 2 bars of power, I can heal back up with the special 2, and I can remove the armor up, and I can hit him without taking the power drain from the armor up from the node. So I end up not losing that much health. I could have played that one a lot better. Next up, we have an Iron Man Infinity War with Hulkling. While we see this one's not too bad. Just a reminder, I take 2 paths in the same battle group. I am speeding up the fight, so if you don't like that, I apologize, but I'm trying to get we got 11 fights this war, and we're trying to get it to below 20 minutes, and some of them took way too long. If I can fit them all in with without speeding them up too much, I will try to, but that's what I got to do to get the fights down. There's so many. Red Skull. We had this one last war. We tried to take it with Deathless King Groot, and it was terrible. Black Widow Clairvoyant here. We're going to get a special 2 at the very beginning. I'm sorry for the speed on this one, but there was a mistake I make right here where I throw that special 1 instead of waiting to get back to a special 2, and that screws up the rest of my fight because I got lucky with the special 2 there at the beginning that gave me all that damage and removed his armor ups, and now I try to go for a special 2 again, and the glancing just kicks in. I do not get, I'm not able to get the buff immunity to stick, and then eventually I start going for special 3s after a couple special 2s don't work, and I could not do enough damage in here. I have to stay in the bleed phase. He's just glancing. Nothing is happening. I'm barely doing any damage. So I finally start going for special 3s. Some of them hit and actually take out a nice chunk of damage. Others do absolutely nothing. And eventually I get him down to, unfortunately, 4%. Now, the biggest mistake that I made, and if you haven't noticed it already, I noticed it right after the war started. I forgot to put a relic on Claire, which would have given me the extra bit of damage I probably would have needed to get through this fight, and also with another fight would have helped me out a lot. So I've already put a relic on, and I have Claire slated for a couple fights in the next war. So I will have a relic, and I won't get it won't be as bad. We're also going to try a 3rd champion against a Red Skull, and we're going to see if we can get something a bit better going. So here you can see I'm trying extremely hard. We get down to like 23% there. We're eventually going to get down to 4% before we time out, and then tap him for the so we only lose one attack bonus. We ended up losing this war. The deaths from my end weren't going to make it or break it, so I don't feel too bad. Obviously, I don't want to rack up any deaths. Extra points for the season, any time is the best. So I'm disappointed, but again, it's a learning experience. I will find a way. Once I get it, I'll have something that I can do every single time. So they're 4%, but that's it. We go in and tap him, and he's done. Now, we have another annoying fight here. First, I think, do we have one more? We've got a Shuri fight. Yeah, Shuri with Hulkling. This one is not too bad at all. So, again, Hulkling, great counter here. Just have to be careful if you try to go for your hitting into block, like special into block, that she can block unblockable specials. So you have to make sure that you do like your hit first before you throw the special, and then you're fine. So here we're just going to bait and counter special 1s. No, do get 1 crit there on the special 2. Not too bad, but nothing too crazy here. Again, this fight was after that really annoying Red Skull fight, but we get this one down. And then unfortunately, fortunately, we moved up to like tier 2, but there's so many champions that can be banned now. I kind of got used to the lower tiers where there weren't as many bans, but here, some of my favorite champions for this meta, Kushala, Wiccan, keep getting banned, which means this Gorr is very difficult. Make a stand, one eye open. I decide to go with Claire here, and I guess I didn't really think too much about it. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to hit into the block, build up a bunch of prowess, and drop some special 2s. That was my plan. But what I didn't take into account was that if I don't cycle enough special 2s, then also if I don't knock him down, there's make a stand. I don't want to hit into him while he's stunned either. So this is a very difficult one, especially without a relic. And I go ahead, drop the special 2, and I'm feeling okay. That gave me quite a bit of damage, but his specials cost like 50% less. So at a certain point, I realized I should probably go with special 2s with the poison phase. Like here, I try, but I'm not doing nearly as much damage as I thought I was going to do from the first one. I know there's a lot going on in this particular fight, but eventually I realized that I think this I end up making a mistake on this one. I do get clipped at one point by, I think, a special 2, and I realize I should be staying in the poison phase, cycling back power, cycling special 2s with the poison phase, and that's what's going to get me through this one. So if I had to do this fight again, I would just go poison phase, cycle special 2s, and be stealing, like more of a power control than damage. So I think that's what I would do. So here, it was just a very frustrating fight because I just wasn't getting what I thought I'd be getting, and I didn't want to deal with blocking special 2s. Eventually, I start going for it because if I throw a special 2, I'll remove all the buffs that he has here. So you can see the buff immunity all disappears. And then if I were to take a special 2 while he doesn't have the bleed or the poison or the shock on him, then I don't take any damage through the block. So all I have to do is make sure I drop a special 2 before pushing him to a special 2, and then I can block his special 2 without taking that damage. So if that makes any sense to you. But unfortunately, this was the second fight that just took way too long and had me very frustrated here. You can see I got him down to like 24%. I was feeling okay. I got a minute to go, and then even I take that special 2, but I just don't do enough fast enough, and he triggers his regen, and he starts healing right back up again, and it was very frustrating. I didn't want to take a hit on the block. I didn't want to hit him while stunned there, and then I take a special 2 while he's got all his buffs active, and I end up dying, so that really sucked. So we go back in, we try again, and he's going to get a ton of health, and I think it's in this fight where I finally realize that I'm going to stick with the special 2s instead of, stay in the poison phase with my special 2s and cycle back some power. So, unfortunately, that's what we end up doing. He heals up a bunch, and then I finally get into a good rhythm eventually. So, a little frustrating for me, but that's all I could do here. And Wiccan absolutely destroys him. Kushala absolutely destroys him, as well as other fights in this meta. So if they're available, I will use them. If they're not available, I'm trying to find ways to work around some of these annoying fights. So you can see here he's already healed back up to like 54%. Again, that in the incinerate phase did not do nearly as much, and I'm stuck taking that special 2 on the block, but as long as he doesn't have the buffs active, I'm not going to take that damage. But I needed to find a method for this, and eventually we do get it. I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be one of those roadblock fights where you see a nice 0 there where someone's died 3 times to a fight. I did not want that to happen. If I'm going to die, I want to make it the one time, unless I'm really not confident, in which case I'd call for backup. But again, we can take the special 2 on the block as long as he has none of his buffs active. Okay, here we go into the bleed phase. And so we actually had a bleed active, but I was in the bleed phase, so I didn't take any damage there on the block. Now it's bleed and poison, so we're back to baiting special 1s. He's back up all the way to 60+% health, and I really thought I had screwed myself over at this point because I still haven't figured out in the fight. Here I finally go into, okay, We're going to stay poison phase, and we're going to cycle through some special 2s here. Okay, this is my plan, because now I can actually get a bunch of hits in and not worry about him going special 3. That was my idea here. So again, we can take that special 2 on the block as long as we throw that buff immunity. Okay, and now before he gets, before the make a stand gets back, we get up another special before that protection kicks back in. And now you can see I'm able to cycle through special 2s, remove his healing, remove everything, and I'm finally getting some damage in. So we get him. 1 death, but that took a while. I'm sorry about that, but it was frustrating. Then we got to heal back up, go in against this Adam Warlock, and on the right side of the boss circle, and then we're going to go in and take him down here. Also, global attacker, global defender. So we got to hit into the block and build up those prowess, and even just the crits that I'm hitting, because I'm boosted up big for that Gorr. And just seeing some crits, even though I got clipped there, just seeing some crits actually do some damage feels really nice in this fight. Like, tons of damage there. Felt really good after that Gorr, just watching him heal back up and heal back up. So, yeah, we're just going to have to be careful after the special 2. Don't attack in when he gets to 25%. Watch out for the stasis pod. Keep hitting into the block, because he does take away a bunch of prowess when he throws the special 1. And also just keep tabs on this node. Whenever there's you're getting close to a falter, it'll give you a little prompt on the left-hand side, just in case I accidentally push him to special 3. But we have class advantage, and luckily I survived this. So a little bit of a mistake there, but we survive, and we come back with a special 2. Stasis pod incoming, so we're going to back away. More hits into the block to avoid the indestructible charges from the global. And again, back off after the special 2. Nice little intercept there into a special 2. Bait another special 2 here, and we just have to, we're going to hit into the block, remove that indestructible, bait 1 more special 2, and eventually we parry, and 1 more special 2 for good measure. And I think we finally get him there with a special 1 intercept. Last but not least, we got a Killmonger that we died to last war, but we're going to go in with Domino again, and this time we are going to play absolutely perfect against this 7-star duped rank 3. I'm sorry for the speed on here, but the goal here is to hit into the block, get some intercepts, because you got brute force going on. You do have his reverb that you got to deal with, but all I'm trying to do is do not let him get to throw a special 1. All I want him to do is throw special 2s. If he throws a special 1, I'm not going to be able to hit into the block. Here, I can't gain power, and I just have to go with raw damage to get him down. So here you can see I'm hitting into the block, but I realize I got the brute force going, so I'm going to bait that heavy, get a few hits in, and then bait the special 2. And then I'm just going to go back in, rinse and repeat the entire time. Some beautiful 17k crits there from Domino. Again, hold the block if I have to, bait that special 2, take a little bit of brute force damage, and then go back in. Nice little intercept, hit into the block without a problem, bait a heavy, attack back in. This is working out fantastic. Every time he throws that special 2, I am happy, because I can hit into the block in order to get more prowess charges, just like that. Go into the block, bait a heavy, push him to special 2. That is what we want to see, and Domino is able to get through this fight. It's just constantly doing the same stuff over and over again, being aggressive, hitting into the block, and hitting into his block and holding block, baiting those heavies and pushing him to special 2, and we get this one down. So hopefully you enjoyed this war. 11 fights, 2 unfortunate deaths, but hopefully you learned something from it. See you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.